Welcome back, everyone. Now, in this video, we are going to unwrap our assets and assign material slots and generally prepare our meshes for exporting to a Substance Painter or Unreal Engine, as the case may be. Okay, so now immediately I'm going to start unwrapping. Okay, and I want to start with the biggest object here, which is the projector screen, right? So I just click on it and I isolate it. Now the next thing I do is that I just split my screen, okay? And this I go to my UV editor. Oops. Yeah, I have some UV layout here, but don't worry, okay? Now I type into edit mode because I want to unwrap this carefully now. Now the unwrapping generally is going to be easy because these are really tiny props, okay? I don't think we have to pay special attention to any part of these meshes here. In fact, you can get away with Smart UV project, and I think that's what we'll do. Okay, so what I'll do is that I just select that and select that as well. Okay, in fact, maybe these two. I hit you and Smart UV project. You see, as easy as that. All right, let me confirm my scale. Yeah, my scale is okay. Okay, now for these, look, I can also Smart UV project because I will say that these are tiny details, and for tiny details, we really don't have to spend a lot of time. Okay, so you, okay, well, for this, I can just unwrap neatly, and now I can click on UV, average island scale, UV, and pack islands. Okay, I just, yeah, now I just pack. All right, so this is the result I get, and this is not bad at all. Okay, in fact, what I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to pair this, I'm going to group these objects together because you see, I always say that these are tiny objects, okay, and for this I know that this material is most likely plastic material, right, and it's going to be the same material with maybe something like the switch. Okay, I think I have a switch. Yeah, something like the switch. So I'm just going to pair them, okay, just to save time. Okay, so now for the switch, I'm also going to unwrap this and easily I'm just going to Smart UV project you Smart UV project. Okay, this is unwrapped. Okay, now for the switch and for the projector screen, now I select two of them. You see I have these two active at the moment. Okay, now I can tab into edit mode and I hit U, average island scale, U, and I hit pack island. Okay, now I have something like this. Okay, so I can actually look for more objects that I can pair with this one, but for now, I think I'm just going to leave these two like this. Okay, so I hide these two and let me do the lights. You see, yeah, the lights too can also be paired because this material here is most likely plastic as well. So I'll just tab into edit mode. I hit U, Smart UV project. Okay, as easy as that. Now I hide this. The pin, this really tiny object here. I just use Smart TV project. Okay. And for the eraser, we're going to Smart TV project as well. But I'm going to be a little bit careful here, even though it's a tiny detail. Okay. I know that I'm going to use wood, and the wood will obviously have a pattern, okay, that maybe goes vertically or horizontally as the case may be. So I'm going to unwrap it carefully. But first, I think I need to mark seams here. Okay. So I'm just going to mark seams. Now, oh, okay, I can just select this edge loop here and I select this one, Control E, mark seam. Okay, I think I can select one. Okay, maybe I select one that is hidden somewhere around here. Maybe this, Control E, mark seam. Exactly. Now you see that when I unwrap this object, it's going to unwrap neatly. Okay, yeah, I think this is good. Aha, exactly. Now for the main cloth itself, for this I can easily just Smart UV project, but no, you know what, let me just mark seams. So I just mark seams along those edges, these and these. Aha, now I mark seam and I unwrap. Exactly. Okay, so now I can hit UV, average island scale, UV, pack islands. Aha, so this is good. Okay, now let's move on to the next subject. The next subject, let me do the wall clock. Okay, now for the wall clock, I'm also going to be careful, okay, with the main cylinder itself. That, oops, is this hidden? So I had two cylinders behind. Let me see. Oh, I think it's possible. I think I deleted it. Oh no, I just hid it. Okay, yeah, it is here. Okay. Now for this cylinder, I'm going to be really careful because this is the cylinder that's going to contain the graphics. Okay, so I'm going to unwrap this one. You know what? I think I can hide. Just hide this one and hide this. Okay, now I focus on this. Now for this, I'm just going to hit U and unwrap. Okay, good. Now, how would I know if the top here corresponds with the top here? Sometimes it's really tricky. Okay, but what I like to do is that I just like to hit U and project from view bounds. Okay, so it's going to project from view, but it's going to occupy the whole bounds here. As you can see, something changed. Okay, this is the result we get when we just unwrap it. So I hit U and unwrap. You see, this is the result we get. But as soon as I hit U and project from view bounds, notice how our circle will rotate a little bit. Okay, so I hit U and project from view bounds. Notice how it rotates. Okay, now I know that this top corresponds with this top here. So yeah, this is good. Okay, now I'm just going to unhide this. And for this, well, I can just unwrap this. I'm not really bothered about this one. Okay, for these as well, I'm just gonna hit you. Let me see what I get when I smart UV project. Ooh, this is weirdness. Hey, but don't worry, we can actually work with this. Is okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna hide this. And the next subject, let me do the books. Okay, let me do the books now. Now for the books, I'm also going to be really careful. Okay, I'm going to unwrap these neatly. The book leaves, rather, the leaves. I'm going to unwrap the leaves neatly. So for the leaves, I just mark him here. Or do I need to mark him? I think I can try unwrapping and see what I get. So let me hit you unwrap. Aha. So this is what I get, and this is neat. As you can see, the leaves are just going to go vertically. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave this like this. Now I can hide this, right? Now for the main books itself, good. Now this is going to be really tricky, but trust me, it's not difficult. Okay, it's really easy to understand. Now for the books, all I care about is the front of the book, okay, and this side maybe, or maybe even the back, okay. And for this one is the same thing. So I'm going to mark seams here, okay. So I tab into edit mode, okay, and okay, well, now I just select all these edges here, okay. You know what? I think I can hide this so I can see clearly. Okay, now I select these edges here. Okay, I want to confirm that I've selected all the edges. So I tab into edit mode and you can see that yes, I've selected all the edges. Okay, I'm going to select the ones inside as well. Oops, I shouldn't have deselected that. I'm going to select the inner ones as well. I think I assigned, oh, I haven't applied the modifiers yet, and that's a good thing, okay? Oh, okay, I think I need to actually apply my solidifier at this point. So I'm just going to apply my solidifier, okay? Aha, now I select these. Let me see. Okay, now I think I'm going to have to select these as well. These and that, okay? Control E, I'm going to maxim, okay? Now I can actually unwrap these, okay? And this is good, but note that for this group of faces here, okay, I'm gonna treat it specially, okay. So I'm just gonna select this group of faces, okay, and for this, well, I'm just gonna unwrap this, okay. As you can see now, it occupies a bigger space, right? Now I'm gonna rotate this R90, okay. Now this is the front of my book, okay. When I select this group of faces, you see that this is the front of my book, okay. This is the, what do they call this side? This is wherever it is, okay, wherever it's called. Then this is the back of the book, right? So my texturing, the graphics for the front of the book is going to be at this side, okay? And the graphics for the back of the book, that if at all there needs to be, is going to be at this side. And yeah, this is just going to have its own graphics. Okay, so for the UV, I think I can move this neatly. Or you know what? UV, I think I can just park, right? But the problem is that it parks horizontally, vertically. I want it to park horizontally. So maybe I just rotate it. Change my pivot to 2D cursor and I rotate it R90. Okay, good. Now I can easily just move it somewhere around here. Okay. Now I hide this part of the book. And for the other sides, trust me, they are really not important to me. Okay. So I can maybe scale them down. Okay. And let me see how everything looks. But yeah, now for these, I can really just scale them down because, like I said, they are really not important to me. I think I need to select one more. Aha, this is it. Okay. Maybe select this, rotate it. Oh, I think I need to change this back to bounding box. Yeah, rotate it, scale it. This can come down a little bit. Then these can maybe be scaled bigger, or maybe somewhere around here. Okay, and these two somewhere around here, or maybe I can pack these in itself. I just pack these. Oopsie, exactly. Now I just scale them and somewhere around here. Yeah, yeah. So as easy as that, this is the unwrapped version of this book. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead to the other book that I hid. I think it's this book cover two. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna apply the solidify modifier and I'm going to select, you know what, before I apply the modifier, I'm going to tab into edit mode and select the edges first. Okay. Aha. Now that I've selected the edges, when I apply the modifier, you see that it automatically selects the other one. Okay, good. Now all I have to do is just to select this edge, that edge, this edge, and this edge. Okay, Control E, maxim. Okay, now I'm just going to unwrap this. Good. Now these, okay. I'm just gonna okay, UV Park Islands, okay. Now I rotate it, but I change my pivot to 2D cursor R90, okay. Now I move this up a bit and maybe somewhere around here. Okay, this is good. Now I hide this, and for the other parts, I can just okay. I think I'm just gonna move them out for now, okay. Oopsie, I'm going to change this back to bounding box R90. Okay, now I can scale this and just arrange them nicely around here. Okay, for these, I'm going to pack these UV pack islands. And, I'm just going to scale it, bring it somewhere around here. Okay, good. Now we are done unwrapping our books. Okay, and it looks really good. Okay, so the next two objects I left for the last, okay, because we are going to give this to a really special treatment, okay, the A4 paper and the sticky notes. Now, obviously, we don't want our sticky notes to look the same, okay? If you see sticky notes that are on the notice board, you see that they actually have different shapes. Yeah, the same sticky notes, but some might be more folded than the others, okay? So what we want to do is to create variations here, okay? We want to create maybe four, maybe five, it depends on you. You can go ahead and create 10 variations, okay? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to tab into edit mode, okay? And for this, I'm going to subdivide it further. So I'll just right click and subdivide, okay? Yeah, now I have three edges inside, both horizontally and vertically, right? Okay. Now this is good. So I said I need, well, in my case, I'm just going to do five variations, okay? So first of all, I'm going to unwrap these, okay? So I'm just going to hit U and project from view bounds, okay? Now my sticky note is well unwrapped, okay? And I know that this edge corresponds with that edge and all that, okay? Now I'm going to duplicate this five times, Shift DX. Okay. Now I have five different variations. Okay. And for the first variation, maybe I can choose to bend this. Okay. Maybe bend this one a little bit. Maybe that just bend one or two edges also. Okay. Well, now to bend this very one, I'm going to use a modifier. Okay. So I'm just going to add modifier. Now I'm deforming it. Okay. Deform and simple deform. Okay. Easy as that. I'm just going to choose bend. Okay. You see, it's already bending, but I'm going to bend it on, I think, the Z axis. Okay, exactly. Now for the angle, I'm just going to change it to something like this. Just eyeball it. Okay, maybe minus 27 degrees. Okay, and you can see that this is bent. Okay, now for these, I can also bend it, but maybe this time around on the X axis. Okay, so I'm just going to add the same modifier, deform, simple deform, and I'm just going to bend this. Yeah, now this is bending on the X axis, but I'll just reduce the angle. Maybe something like this. Okay. Now this is good. Okay. As you can see now, two different variations. Okay. Now for this, instead of using modifiers, I'm going to apply this modifier and apply this modifier. Now for this, instead of using modifiers, I can actually just do it manually. Okay. So I can just select maybe these vertices here. Okay. And I'm just going to change my pivot point to median point. Okay. And I can just move them nicely. Okay, now maybe unselect these ones and I move these ones further. Unselect this one and maybe these two, move them further. Okay, so you see that I am just actually randomizing it. Okay, there's no one way to create variations. Okay, exactly. Now this thing is starting to look organic. Okay, even for this, even though I've applied the modifier, I can also go ahead and just move this one further. Maybe this one too. Okay, maybe these two, move them further. As easy as that. Okay, just I'm just trying to make it look as organic as possible. Okay. Aha. Aha. Good. Okay. I think I can move this inward a little bit. Okay. Now for this one, you know what? I might try using proportional editing. Okay. So maybe I might check proportional editing. Let me try random. So I'm just going to click this and move it this way. You see it's randomizing. Okay. It's randomizing. Yeah. But I think this is okay. Oh, this actually makes sense. Yeah. This looks good. Okay. Now the last one. Maybe I select this group of vertices. Okay, I'm just gonna invert these ones. Maybe I move this one here. No, you know what? No. I'm actually not gonna move these ones at the top. I'm just gonna move these. Why is this moving? Oh, I have my proportional editing active. I'm just gonna move these. Maybe these. Maybe these ones. I move them more. These ones, take them back in a little bit. These ones more. Okay, yeah, now you see I have created five different variations. Okay, now when I scatter these five on my notice board, it's going to look organic. Okay, good. Now I'm going to do the same thing for my A4 paper if I need to. Now for the A4 paper, I think I really just want one. Okay, note that you can actually go ahead and create maybe even a calendar or something like that. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, use the knowledge you now have to create another mesh and say this is a calendar, maybe this is going to be bigger. Okay, if you want to deform it, fine. All right, now the way we create this is just going to be the same way we create the calendar. Okay, now yeah, for these I call them A4 paper. Well, okay, sticky notes rather. They already call sticky notes. Maybe I can call this sticky notes one, maybe this sticky notes two, this oopsie, I have sticky notes three, oopsie, what am I doing? Three. Good. Now this sticky notes. Four. Now this sticky notes. Five. Exactly. Now I have five sticky notes. Remember, the UV is intact. Okay, that was why I unwrapped it before I did anything. Okay, so I'm really not gonna have any problem. Now for the A4 paper, you can actually go ahead and do the same. Okay, as if you have more than one A4 paper and you want them to be deformed. Okay, you can actually go ahead duplicate this. Call this A4 paper one, A4 paper two. Okay, so maybe this is going to contain some, maybe some sort of maybe notice or announcement, or maybe even class list, or maybe test scores or something like that. Okay, exactly. Now, well, I'm actually going to subdivide these two. I'm going to unwrap this. So I hit UV, but this time around, I'm not going to project from view bounds because this is not a square object. Okay, see what happens when I project from view bounds. You see, it is deforming my object. My object is actually going to be something. I mean, it's actually supposed to be this high, right? So what I'm just going to do is to unwrap your regular unwrap. Okay, you unwrap. Let me look at my scale. Yeah, my scale is okay. And for this as well, I subdivide this. You unwrap. Okay, and this still does it look like A4 paper? I hope I'm not getting something wrong. Yeah, we will actually just work with this and see what it gives us. Okay, but for now, I just have a feeling it doesn't look like these exactly. It doesn't matter. Let's just work with it and see. I think it does. I think it's just my eye. Okay. So yeah, for this, like I said, if you want to unwrap it, if you want to deform it, you can actually go ahead. Okay. I'm just going to deform this. Simple deform. I'm going to bend this on the z-axis. I'm just going to bend this on the z-axis. I'm going to bend this one as well. So I copy the modifiers. Okay, now I'm going to apply the modifiers here and there. But now for this, I'm just going to now just change a few things. Okay, maybe just change a few things, maybe here and there as well. And these as well, I can just choose to change a few things. Okay, so you see that there's really no one way to do things like this. Okay, you're an artist, you have the creative freedom to do whatever you want to do as long as it makes sense to you. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really just going to leave this like this. Good. Now this is A4 paper one or A4 paper two. Now immediately what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and create material slots for these props. And when I'm done creating the material slots, we export, okay? And maybe we texture in Substance Painter. Did I even have to say maybe? Well, we are obviously going to texture in Substance Painter, and we take them to Unreal Engine and make our scene look beautiful, okay? Now for the texture slots, I'm going to start with the biggest object again, okay? All these vertices, all these modifiers, bevel, I'm not gonna apply them now. I'm gonna apply them later. Okay. Now for these, I actually need one material. So I'll just add the single material. And this, I'm just gonna call it plastic underscore projector switch. So this is a plastic material and I'm going to use it for the projector and for the switch. That's just what it means. Name it whatever you want to name it. As long as you understand it, it's fine. Okay. Now, yeah, everything is good. So for my switch too, I'm just going to use the same material. Plastic projector switch. Okay. Good. Now I can hide this too. And for the sticky notes, can just call it sticky notes. Sticky notes. Okay. Now I select all my sticky notes. I think I did the material here, so I'm going to select all the sticky notes, select this last and link the materials. Link materials. Okay, yeah, now I can hide this. Now what next? A4 paper. A4 paper. Now add the material A4 paper and I link it, Ctrl L, link materials. Now hide this. Now, well, I'm going to do the book covers last. For the wall clock, now this is going to have at least three material slots. One, two, three. Okay, the first one is going to be the glass. The second one is going to be, I'm going to call it plastic, because it's obviously made of plastic, right? Yeah, now the third one is going to be the main graphics itself. Okay, so I'm really just going to call this clock graphics. Okay, the name doesn't really matter as long as you understand what it is and what it does. Okay, yeah, now I'm going to assign each material slot to the respective meshes, right? So for the glass, I'm just going to hit L, assign, right? Now I hide this. Now I hit L here. This is the plastic, assign. Now I hide this. Now this clock graphics, assign. Okay, good. Now I hide this. Okay, now the pin is also plastic. There's a lot of objects that are actually plastic, and I would have easily grouped them together. I said I was going to group them. I really don't. Okay, so you know what? I'm really just going to group them. Okay, now for the wall clock, I'm just going to unhide this, the switch, the projector screen, the pin, or the lights, right? Yeah, the lights. What else? Okay, good. So the lights, the pin, the projector screen, the switch, and the wall clock. I'm just going to unhide these five. Okay, now I have these five. Now this is what I'll do. It can be very tricky, but don't worry, you will understand it definitely. Okay, so I selected five objects, and these five objects, they all have one thing in common. Okay, they have a plastic material. Now, for the five of them, I'm actually just going to select the part of the object that is plastic. Okay, yes, I know that for the projector screen, this is not plastic. Okay, okay, for the sake of doing things the right way. Okay, I'm just going to create another material slot here, and this I'm just going to call this projector screen. Okay, because I know that this is usually not made of plastic. Okay, and I'm going to assign it here, projector screen assign. Okay, now as I was saying, these five objects, they have one thing in common in terms of the material. They have parts that are made of plastic. So what I'll do is that I'm just going to select five of them. You know what? I'm selecting five of them. I'm going to tab into edit mode. Now, where are the parts that are made of plastic? Okay, I already said that this is made of plastic, right? This is made of plastic. I assigned them initially, right? So it's easy to select them. All I have to do is just click on this, select this, and click on select. So it's going to select every mesh that has this material. Okay, good. Now I know that this is also plastic. Okay, and I know that the pin is also plastic. Now for the lights, I know that this is also plastic. Okay, so well, I'm just gonna hide every other thing else. Now I'm here. Okay, what I'll do, since I have unwrapped all these objects, right? What I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna hit average island scale, UV rather. I think I've been saying U for the most part of this video. It's UV. Okay, I'm used to pressing U. Okay, it really does this. Does it? No. Okay, U is just to unwrap your object. UV will just show you some other options. I think, can you unwrap here? No. I don't think you can. Well, but UV, just to average island scale, UV, and just to pack the islands. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little margin, maybe 0.1. Let me see if this makes sense. So I pack and see the results. Aha, now you see the result is good. Okay, now all these objects are gonna have one material. Okay, and I'm not gonna have a problem baking when we bake in Unreal Engine, in Substance Painter rather, because the UVs don't overlap. Okay, now for these, well, this is already plastic, and this has a plastic. Now for these, this is called sealing. I'm just gonna remove this. Okay, now for the pin, this is also gonna have that plastic material. Okay, now you see that I really don't have to call this plastic projector switch anymore. I can just call this plastic, maybe props. Now this is a good name. Okay, and you see the name will reflect here and here as well. Now for the clock, I'm really just going to remove this material and I'm going to add a new one. On this I call it, okay, I'm just going to look for the plastic props. Ooh, what name did I give it? Can you imagine me? Plastic props. Now I'm gonna assign the material to this part. Okay, assign. Now for the lights as well, I need two materials here. One is going to be for the lights, so lights. Okay, and the other, I'm just going to select the plastic props, these. Okay, now for the lights, I select this face, light, assign. Okay, now for the plastic material, I just select the plastic material, assign. Okay, now these are grouped. Okay, and since these are grouped, I can actually texture them together. Okay, but I will actually come to that later. Is actually what we did for the main assets. When we had to texture the door, I think the door, the window, and one part together, and we did the chair and the desk together. So it's actually the same thing. We did them together because they shared the same materials. Okay, so it's the same thing we're gonna do here. Okay, now am I done? I think I'm not done. Okay, I'm just gonna hide these for now. Now for the eraser, now this is going to be wood. This is going to be a cloth material. Okay, so I'm just going to call this eraser wood. Okay, now for this I call it eraser cloth. Okay, now for the eraser cloth, I'm going to assign it to this part of the mesh, right? So I just assign. Note that when you add the material, the first material is going to be assigned to the entire object. Oh, what did I say here? I said eraser. Eraser wood, eraser cloth. So now you see that by default this is going to be the eraser wood. Okay, because it was applied to the entire mesh before I came and changed it. Okay, now I'm really just done with this. Now for the book, I have book and book covers. I think, okay, the book is the last, right? Yeah, the book is the last. So now For this, I'm going to call this book one. Okay. And for this, I'm going to call this book two. Okay. And for this, I'm going to call it leaves. Or you know what? Book leaves. Okay. And for this, I'm going to add the material slot and select the book leaves. Okay. So yeah, this is a good point now. Now what we have to do is see how we can export these objects in groups, okay, and texture them in Substance Painter and take it to Unreal Engine and make our scene beautiful. Note that I'm actually going to be using graphics for this book, okay? And for these graphics, I might actually get graphics online, or I'll just go ahead and use simple graphics from maybe Photoshop or Illustrator. Note that, note again that this is not an Illustrator course or a Photoshop course, okay? So I might not go into detail into that aspect. But if you if you have knowledge in graphic design, I think it will be a plus for you. But it doesn't matter, okay? Don't get discouraged. I will actually share the files that I used for you guys so that you can use it in your projects too. So see you in the next video where I go ahead and texture in Substance Painter. Bye for now.